Good morning, everyone. I am delighted to welcome you all today. Thank you for joining this presentation. Today, we will be exploring the expertise of Dr. S.K. Singh, who holds a PhD and is a certified management accountant, certified packaging professional, and certified quality auditor for liquid dosage forms. We'll cover key topics related to liquid formulations, quality assurance, and regulatory insights. I look forward to sharing valuable information with you all. Let's get started. Let's start by discussing the critical material attributes, or CMAs. These refer to the key properties of raw materials like APIs, solvents, excipients, and water. These attributes are crucial because they can directly impact the quality of the final product. In liquid dosage forms, specific attributes such as solubility, viscosity, pH, microbial load, and purity become especially important. These factors influence how the product performs and its overall stability. Moving on to critical process parameters, or CPPs. These are the process variables that we need to control carefully to ensure we get consistent, high-quality products. For liquids, this includes things like mixing speed, temperature, the sequence in which ingredients are added, filtration conditions, and homogenization. Finally, critical quality attributes, or CQAs, are the essential characteristics of the finished product. They guarantee the safety, efficacy, and overall quality of what we deliver to patients. For liquid forms, CQAs include parameters like pH, clarity, viscosity, assay results, microbial limits, and stability. Putting it all together, CMA, CPP, and CQA work hand in hand to ensure that our liquid dosage forms are manufactured consistently, meeting the highest standards of quality, safety, and performance. These concepts are fundamental to understanding how we control and optimize our manufacturing processes. Let's look at this example involving the CMA, or compatibility and monitoring analysis, specifically focusing on suspension cases. When we talk about CMA here, one of the key factors is the particle size of the active pharmaceutical ingredient, or API. The size of these particles can significantly influence the performance of the suspension. If the particles are smaller, they tend to dissolve more readily, which generally improves bioavailability and ensures better therapeutic effect. However, if the particles become too fine, there's a risk of aggregation, where particles stick together and form larger clusters. This can cause stability issues and affect the uniformity of the suspension. Now, when we consider CMA in liquid dosage forms, several other factors come into play. API solubility is critical because it determines how well the drug dissolves or disperses in the liquid. Particle size remains important, especially for suspensions, since it affects how evenly the particles stay suspended over time. Then, we also need to consider the viscosity of excipients. These are the substances added to give the suspension the right consistency. The pH and buffer capacity are essential for maintaining stability and preventing degradation of the API. Surfactant properties, particularly the HLB value, influence how well the surfactants help stabilize the suspension by reducing surface tension. Preservative effectiveness is another vital point, as it ensures the product remains safe and uncontaminated throughout its shelf life. Lastly, the quality of water used, specifically purified water, is fundamental because impurities or contaminants can compromise the entire formulation's stability and safety. So all these factors are interconnected, and understanding their roles helps us develop stable, effective liquid dosage forms that meet quality standards. Let's take a closer look at an example involving CPP, specifically in the context of emulsions. When we talk about CPP, or critical process parameters, one key factor is homogenization pressure. Now, what does this mean for the process? Well, increasing the homogenization pressure generally leads to smaller droplet sizes in the emulsion, which can improve stability and texture. However, there's a balance to strike here. If the pressure is too high, it can cause instability due to coalescence, where droplets merge back together, defeating the purpose. Moving on, in liquid manufacturing, several parameters influence the process quality. Mixing speed and time are crucial. they affect how well ingredients combine. Temperature during preparation is also vital, as it impacts the viscosity and solubility of components. The order of addition matters too, since adding ingredients in the right sequence can prevent unwanted reactions or phase separations. Specifically, for emulsions, homogenization pressure remains a critical CPP. Agitation rate, filtration parameters, and filling speed also play significant roles in ensuring consistency and quality. By carefully controlling these parameters, we can optimize the manufacturing process and ensure the final product meets our desired standards. All these factors are interconnected and essential for maintaining control over the entire process. Let's take a closer look at an example involving CQA, or critical quality attributes. Imagine we have an oral suspension as our case study. In this context, one key CQA is the sedimentation rate. Now, why is this important? Well, a fast settling of particles can lead to poor dose uniformity, meaning patients might not receive the right amount of medication consistently. This highlights how CQA directly impacts the quality of liquid dosage forms. Several attributes are critical here, including assay, which measures the drug content to ensure correct dosing. We also look at pH, viscosity, and appearance or clarity to assess the physical stability and usability of the product. Microbial limits are essential for safety, of course. Additionally, for suspensions, particle size distribution is a vital parameter because it influences sedimentation and stability. For emulsions, phase separation or emulsion stability is a key concern, as it can affect the product's effectiveness and shelf life. Overall, understanding and controlling these CQAs helps us maintain the quality and safety of liquid medications, ensuring they perform as intended for the patient. Let's take a closer look at the relationships between CMA, CPP, and CQA using some practical examples. In the first example, we have the CMA as surfactant HLB, which refers to the hydrophilic-lipophilic balance of the surfactant. This property influences how the surfactant behaves in our system. The CPP, or critical process parameter in this case, is the homogenization speed, which affects how well the surfactant distributes during mixing. And the resulting CQA, or critical quality attribute, is emulsion stability, how stable our emulsion remains over time. Moving to the second example, the CMA is API solubility, which is crucial for ensuring the active pharmaceutical ingredient dissolves properly. The CPP here is the mixing temperature, a key factor that can influence solubility. The CQA we're aiming for is clarity, meaning a clear, stable solution. What's important to notice is how the CMA influences the process parameters, and in turn, impacts the quality attribute. Understanding these relationships helps us design better processes and ensure consistent quality in our products. It's all about controlling the right variables to achieve the desired outcome. Let's take a closer look at risk assessment. When we're evaluating potential hazards, we rely on specific tools to help us identify and analyze risks effectively. One such tool is FMEA, or Failure Modes and Effects Analysis, which helps us systematically review processes to pinpoint where failures might occur and how severe their impact could be. Another valuable tool is the Ishikawa diagram, also known as the fishbone diagram, which assists in visualizing all possible causes of a particular problem, making it easier to pinpoint root causes. Identifying critical variables is a key part of this process. These are the factors that have the most significant influence on safety and quality, so we need to pay close attention to them. For example, one high-risk area is microbial contamination in aqueous liquids. This is especially important because contamination can compromise product safety and patient health. By applying these tools and focusing on critical variables, we can proactively manage risks and ensure our processes are as safe and reliable as possible. So, to wrap things up, it's clear that CMA, CPP, and CQA are absolutely essential when it comes to liquid dosage forms. These tools help us maintain a strong control over both the formulation and the manufacturing process, which is key to ensuring the product's stability over time. By focusing on these aspects, we can prevent common issues like phase separation, where different components might split apart, sedimentation that can affect the uniformity, and microbial growth that jeopardizes safety and quality. Ultimately, implementing these controls not only supports regulatory compliance, but also helps us deliver a high-quality, safe, and effective product to patients. It all ties back to the overall goal of maintaining product integrity throughout its shelf life. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you with any questions or additional information you might need. Feel free to contact us through the provided channels. And with that, I want to sincerely thank you for your time and attention today. Your engagement is truly appreciated, and I look forward to any future collaborations or discussions. Thanks again.